Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thanks for tuning in and welcome. While everyone's focused on the presidential election, this global pandemic is getting rapidly worse. Things are going to get very severe very soon, and it's going to hit people like a ton of bricks. Most people think that the pandemic's kind of blown over. We're at the tail end, and that's so far from the truth. The number of cases are actually increasing. Now, on top of that, regardless who the winner is, we know that there's going to be a massive stimulus package hurting the dollar and putting things even more. It's going to set things back even further. So, this article is talking about a global economic risk is on red alert due to the pandemic, and we're going to see how gold and silver are intertwined into that. We're starting to see the consequences, and next year is going to be interesting. Short term for prices for any market is going to be choppy, it's going to be volatile, it's going to be very, very unstable, and rightfully so because people don't know what's going to happen. People are investing very dramatically because nobody knows who's going to win yet. Nobody knows what's going to be on the road ahead, and what path that the economy is going to take. So we're not going to really have stable prices. But once things settle down and people kind of figure out, which direction we're going, prices can stabilize, and I promise, no matter who wins, gold and silver will benefit. So there's uncertainty about the US presidential election next week, doubts about any possible US stimulus package, tensions with China, and increasing pandemic cases with unemployment rates high and business closing. Gold and silver are bullish in the mid to long term, and that's what everyone's saying. Short term, who cares, right? Who cares about the short term? Are you selling right now, anyways? I highly doubt it. Medium to long term, though, we're talking about an extremely bullish figure for precious metals. Not only because the stimulus package, which will directly push prices higher, but everything else coming along with it. That's just one tiny angle. There's so many other angles that are also going to benefit precious metals. Europe is locking down again, which will further harm their economies. Whoever wins the US election next week is going to face the economic necessity of a larger stimulus package, which will further pump up stocks while also being bullish for gold and silver as fears of inflation will increase. So here's the fundamentals. The fundamentals for gold and silver remain strong, even as both have high volatility, which is great for traders, right? And that's obvious. There's more opportunity to make gains. With uncertainty about the U.S. presidential election next week, doubts about any possible U.S. stimulus package, tensions with China, and increasing pandemic cases with unemployment rates and business closing, gold and silver are bullish in the mid to long term. Europe is locking down again, which will further harm their economies in the short term. We will get some reversals in gold, which you can use to build a larger long term position. If you want to do it that way, a lot of people just buy and hold. With increasing government debt, fiat currencies will continue to decline in value. And we know that, right? That's obvious. Which this is bullish for gold and silver. And that's almost proof. I can guarantee that gold and silver will be higher from this because $1 trillion stimulus packages that big will 100% hurt the dollar. And when the dollar is down, gold and silver are up. So we know that precious metals will at least be up for that time frame. Now, how long will that last? We don't know, but at least if it catches fire, if there's some fuel to be ignited, that could set things up a lot further, especially as how anxious people are waiting to get back into the markets. And I think especially with silver, if it breaks through that $30 range, the sky could be the limit. Not saying it's going to reach $50 within a couple months, but once it breaks through $30, I don't think we're going to see this mid $20, low $20 silver anymore. So whoever wins the US election next week is going to face the economic necessity of a larger stimulus package. So as we move into the new economic system, gold will play a major role as a stabilizing currency, especially as inflation and hyperinflation fears increase with massive printing of money and increasing debt. $27 trillion in debt, massively. That's a massive number, but it's getting much larger, much faster. Massive printing, over flooding the economy, the world with these useless dollars is only going to not only expose America now, because this pandemic has brought new a whole new layer of untrust from these other countries pulling out of the U.S. dollar being the world's reserve currency. But not only that, but it's also exposing people to the reality that America might not be as wealthy as people think. And actually, the only reason the USA is the richest country is because we own the most gold. So creating more supply for any asset such as currency decreases its value. Therefore, governments printing money will reduce its purchasing power and increase the rate of inflation. At least up to this point, governments do not appear to be concerned with the inflationary effects of their money printing. Since they are not, and this is the thing that worries me. They are not concerned. It's almost like out of sight, out of mind, we'll deal with it later. But then when later comes, you're going to have to deal with it. You can't just keep pushing it off. It seems like they just keep trying to push it off. Oh, we'll get to it later. And then when that time comes, what's going to happen? They may at some point induce a digital currency or another currency as a global reserve currency, but no one knows at this point. And that's what I've been saying about cryptocurrency. And not Bitcoin, though. If there was going to be a new digital currency, I think it would be Ripple. If you guys don't know, Ripple's an altcoin, but it's controlled by a central bank. A central bank owns a decentralized cryptocurrency. And that is the one bridge, that's the one gateway that connects the US dollar directly to cryptocurrency. So if there was going to be a digital currency, I think it would be Ripple. Bitcoin, heck no, because nobody's in control of it. So with such massive debt, any increase in interest rates will lead to extensive defaults around the world. For all these reasons, we are buying gold and silver for the long term, and it's a great opportunity. When gold came down today at $1,859, the media started to say that the boom in gold was over, and that's the craziest thing. Media is going to tell you that they're going to downplay it. They're saying that the boom for gold is over, but precious metals are the only thing that makes sense right now. The only thing. Try investing in the stocks right now and tell me how good you do. Precious metals are the only thing, especially looking forwards, right? When you're investing, you have to look forwards. And right now, everything that's going to happen, no matter what happens, every scenario is going to be bullish for gold and silver. And that's a fact. So gold is at $1,872, down $6. We have come back from the lows today. The daily mean level we are looking at, based on the VCPMI, which is basically an artificial intelligence trading robot, is at $1,886. And the great thing about the VCPMI is that there's no emotional attachment. There's no emotionally involved in investing strategy. It's strictly off of the numbers. So that's a very accurate way of doing things. So the daily buy one level is at 1,860, which has been activated. We are now getting another active signal to buy at 1,874. So they're kind of going in, the support, resistance, all the stuff that goes along with that. But let's go down to silver. So silver is at a major reversion back down to the daily buy one level at $22.82 this morning. The daily target is $23.72. The buy two weekly level is at $23.57, which will activate a weekly trigger buy signal. The buy one weekly target is $24.14. The reversion appears to be confirming that the metals cannot be kept down. and that's the thing. It's impossible to keep precious metals down when we have demand coming in from so many things. I actually made a video earlier today, how they go check it out. But they found a way to print silver on human skin to check vital signs. There's so much new. There's so many new things happening. Scientist discovery that's going to keep pushing silver forwards. We have the stimulus. We have all this stuff. Quantitative easing. All of this stuff is hurting the dollar, hurting the dollar's purchasing power, which in return helps gold and silver. We have the safe haven aspect of precious metals, where people when they don't trust banks and governments, they turn to safe haven. So we have that coming in for gold and silver. We have the shortage, the downright supply shortage. There's so many different things. Global pandemic, the $1 trillion stimulus package. We have whoever wins. It's going to be very interesting, whether it's Joe Biden going green or Donald Trump looking at it from a more business standpoint. No matter what happens, precious metals will be bullish. So for someone to say the gold boom, the gold rally is over, the boom is over, is just silly and that's ignorant because in 5 years from now, as things settle down, do you really think gold's going to still be 1800? Do you really think silver's still going to be $25 in 5, 10 years from now? No. That's it. Think about how much can happen in 5 years, especially as how severe things are getting. Think of silver 5, 10 years ago. Think of how much has happened since then. Not even 10 years ago, silver was $50. So think about that in today's time, in 5, 10 years from now. Do you really think silver is still going to be this cheap? It won't. No. Maybe the next year or so it could still stay around this price, but in 4, 5, 6 years from now, I can guarantee we'll be looking back at these prices wishing we could pay $25 for an ounce of silver. So anyways, I just wanted to make this video to show you guys that there is still things going on beyond the election that are bullish for gold and silver, but also stuff that we need to pay attention to. We are on red alert due to this pandemic, and people are forgetting about it. They're so focused on the election, they are forgetting that we have another very, very, very disturbing, serious scenario on our hands that we also have to pay close attention to. Right? People are thinking that the pandemic is blown over, the numbers are decreasing, but numbers are still increasing, and nobody's going to talk about that right now because nobody wants to admit it, and also, depending on who wins, they don't want to have their name attached to this problem getting worse. So people are going to try to downplay it, including whoever's in office, and it's going to get interesting. I'm going to give you guys the inside scoop on a daily basis, what's happening, why prices are acting the way they do, and what you should do about it, so you need to be subscribed. Now more than ever, you need to be subscribed because on a day-to-day basis, I'm posting 2-3 videos a day, giving you guys the inside scoop. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was educational, informational, or at least entertaining, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe. The link to this article from Seeking Alpha will be in the description. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon.